Hey there, what's going on? I am Dr. Dave, and we are live here on Microdose U. How are y'all doing? What's going on? Glad to do another live stream. Last one I did was we did a little experiment. I think it was Sunday evening. And let's just say it's probably not a really fantastic time for people to go to a live stream on a Sunday evening. Everybody's busy getting back to school, getting back to work with families, and we had some people, but it wasn't like overly crowded on a Sunday evening. So here we are. It's a Wednesday, and I've got something for you today, guys. I'm wondering if this ever happens to you. I'm going to share this with you. It's not my imagination. Ever since I began microdosing mushrooms, but more recently than like I've been microdosing for over 4 years now. And I think it was a gradual shift, but more recently, this is crazy. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know if it's just me. I really don't. But here's what it is. And I want to know if anybody else is experiencing this. If you've been microdosing for more than just a little while, I want to know if you've been. And this is it. It's got nothing to do with you. You might be thinking, well, is it with anxiety, depression? Is it with he's more spiritual? He can do things. No. It's actually nothing to do with any of that. It's bizarre. So here's what it is. I've noticed definitely since I began microdosing, but more recently, I'd say over the past several months, past year, give or take. Again, it's gradual, so you don't know when this starts. But somehow in public, I attract people, and I'm not saying good or bad, and I'm not trying to do anything, but it's like people like come to me. Like I'm minding my own business somewhere, and like people like come to me and start a relationship, or start like talking or something. Okay, I'm going to give you like a little example, and this is so typical. It happens all the time now, and I don't know if it's the mushrooms, but I think it's hey, PBS, what's going on? Okay, good. I'm glad you got notified. It was a little bit short notice today. I gave about 30 minutes notice because guess what? I came home. I couldn't set it up early because I just didn't know exactly my schedule for the afternoon, but I came home. I had some time, came into my studio, scheduled it, and we are here. But okay, so yesterday, and this is very typical, but I'll just give you an example about yesterday. I walked in. I had an appointment in the morning somewhere, but so I was running a little bit early, so I walked into a coffee shop and just ordered simply a cup of coffee. I had my like little journal with me. I was going to do a little bit of work, a little bit of thinking, a little bit of work, etc., in the coffee shop before my appointment. I had probably about 20 minutes. So I got my coffee. Hey, I don't, Eric, I'm not sure. I'm not. So, okay, but you got to hear this. You got to hear, somehow this guy approached me, and it wasn't like it's nothing like a pickup thing or anything like that. This guy, he like said something that was kind of funny, and I answered back, and then that turned in. I'm not kidding you. And he had like his breakfast or something, and I had my coffee. I wanted to drink it. It turned into like a 15 to 20-minute conversation with this pure stranger, and it was. I mean, it was funny. We were like, it's like we had known each other for a long time. We were like best friends almost for 20 minutes. And I looked at my watch. I said, I got to get to an appointment. I got to go. And that was the end. And then last evening, I am at the grocery store, just my neighborhood grocery store. I'm there all the time. I'm at the counter ordering some kind of, it doesn't mean much, some kind of food. So this woman is ahead of me, and she's already giving her order, what she wants. And then some other guy comes out and says, "Are you two together?" Meaning, like, I'll wait on you if you're not together, but if you're two together, I'll just go about my business. And We said, "No, no, no, we're not." And so, but then the other guy behind the counter looked at us and said, "Well, you two should be together." And it was really odd and really weird. And it was a woman who was like, maybe my age or a little younger, like not a young person, like an older person. And hey, Bill, what's going on there? Good to see you. We got our YouTube family going, right? So he said, "Well, you two should be together." And then he thought, like, should I have said that? It was embarrassing. But I just looked at her and I said, "Hi." And then he mentioned something about my hat, which had a little Grateful Dead pin on it, steal your face pin. And he said, "Hey, really cool. That's really cool, dude." Yeah, and she had to she said, "What is that? Like, what's on your hat?" I said Grateful Dead. And then she went into this whole long conversation about her husband is a deadhead and blah blah blah. And so that again turned into a 15-minute conversation. Now, this is the norm. David, David K, what's going on? Hey, hey, thank you for the. David was a patient of mine back in the 80s at my old dental office back in Maryland. It's so good to see you here, Dan. And thank you for saying that. It's so I really appreciate that a lot. But this is the norm now. I messaged my wife after that morning thing with the coffee. I said, some guy just started talking to me. I said something like, it happened again. It happened again. Some guy just started talking to me, and it went for like 20 minutes. And she knows that happens to me all the time now. And so we have this like running joke, like I can't go somewhere now without like somebody like making some kind of conversation. And trust me, I'm not looking for it. I mean, I'm happy to talk to somebody that's nice and friendly. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to do that. Bill, people in Utah are just friendly. I mean, yes and no. I think they're the same as anywhere. I think. I mean, I've lived on the East Coast a good part, most of my life, and I think I don't know. I mean, it's really bizarre, and I wanted to, and like I said, this was not two isolated incidents. It happens all the time. So I wanted to throw this out there. Has anybody else had this happen to you? And like, especially since you started your microdosing journey, have you turned into like maybe more like Eric said, like confidence, positivity, approachability, something like that? I mean, have you noticed anything different? Anything different? Eric says psychedelics can create more openness. I'm not into the dead, but I've had a bunch of friends who are. Happens often, usually when I'm in a rush. Oh, luckily, I was not in a rush at either of those places. Because if I had been in a rush and this guy was literally talking to me like it was going out of style, like he wouldn't. And again, I'm skilled enough that if somebody like that was like weird or odd or I thought was dangerous, or I would get out of the situation. But this guy was none of that. He was hilarious. He was really funny, really nice guy, and we just were talking for at least 20. Psychedelics are, yeah, I agree with that. I think you're right, Eric. And it's interesting that you said that, because I think you get other people's energy and they get yours. I think that is very possible. I'll tell you something interesting. Early on, very early on in my microdosing, I was going to say microdosing career. It's not a career, microdosing journey. Very early on in my microdosing journey, my wife was out of town, and I was dog sitting. Our next door neighbors were going out somewhere, so I think I had their dog at our house on like a Sunday, like all day Sunday, or at least all day Sunday. And this is a cool dog, and this dog really close with my wife and I. No, really close with my wife and me. That would be correct. Really close with my wife and me. Right, right. It's not it's me. I don't like it when people make that mistake. Like, oh yeah, I'm going. He gave the book to my wife and I. No, no, he gave the book to my wife and me. People overdo the I thing, but it's not right. And I practically flunked out of English when I was like in school. So don't listen to me, but I know it's my wife and I. What was I talking about? I can't remember what I was talking about now. Somebody remind me. I was getting ready to start a story, but I got into the I thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, thanks, Bill. Okay, perfect, perfect. So I was with the next door neighbor's dog, who, again, the reason I said my wife and me because the dog was very close to both of us, and like he would sleep in our bed, he would hang out with us whatever room we were in. But this Sunday afternoon, I took a dose of magic mushrooms a little earlier, and so I was just sitting in the living room, like either watching some TV or listening to music, probably more likely listen to music or reading something. And the dog, Oliver, I could tell that he felt a different vibe. He felt like something was uncomfortable actually. Now I know Oliver, I know his pattern, I know what he always did. He always like would hang out in the same room. But while I was dosing the mushrooms, and it was more than a microdose, it's probably if I had to just totally guess, like a gram. He felt something weird. I'm telling you, he went upstairs to the second floor to the bedroom and hung out there like most of the day. Now, I wasn't doing anything differently. I was sitting there just listening to my music and doing my thing where he always hangs with us, but he felt a different vibe that apparently he was not comfortable with. Yeah, Bill, your dog knows when you've yes, there's something that they can detect. I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know if it's they feel something strange, something uncomfortable. Well, with Oliver, it must have been uncomfortable. It must have been uncomfortable because he left the room and not only left the room, but went up to the second floor. So there's something that now, if you were sitting in the same room with somebody that just took like a gram of mushrooms, you probably couldn't tell. As long if they're not like deep, 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 deep into something, if they're just sitting there watching TV or something, you probably couldn't tell. But the dog 100% knew that something was different. And I'm wondering whether, like when I go into the coffee shop and get coffee and I just did a microdose, or not even that doesn't have to be that day. It's something that I've been doing for like so long that maybe something's changed with my brain, or even further, like my whole the way I present myself, the way I become more approachable, or something gets people to come to approach me. Dogs can definitely sense our emotions. They have become attuned to. Oh, there's no question about that, Eric. However, emotions are one thing. Yes, I know that. They definitely know emotions. However, I was just sitting there like watching probably listening to music on my sound system, listening to music, a gram of mushrooms, listen to music, hanging out, not doing anything. I wasn't like talking. I wasn't emotional. So how did he know that? That's my question. How did he know that part? I was just being me, listening to music, sitting on the sofa like I always do. But usually when Oliver would come over, it wouldn't be with mushrooms. So he definitely sensed something different. 100% he sensed something different. So I just want to run that by you and see if I mean, so does anybody else has anybody else felt, or does anybody else feel they've become more approachable and strangers will just start talking to you out of the clear blue sky more than they ever have, more than you ever have had this happen in your life? Does anybody else have that? Because it's a real thing. It's not a made up thing. Like, if it happened once or twice, okay, it's coincidental. It happens all the time now. Sometimes I can't get rid of people. It's funny. It's we. I mean, it's crazy. Mm. Ah, next week. By the way, next week we are having a local friend of mine, Tennyson. His name is Tennyson, and he is going to be speaking. And it's not going to be here. It's going to be on our Patreon. It's going to be on our Patreon. The link is in the show notes. He's going to be talking to us in a live meeting. It's different than a live stream because you can see everybody. You can remain anonymous if you want to. You can mute your mic and camera, but it's a Zoom meeting where we can all see each other. And Tennyson is going to be our guest, and he's going to be talking all about LSD, microdosing, macrodosing, middle dosing. He's an expert on LSD. He's going to be sharing all of his knowledge. We get to ask him questions freely, and guess what? He answers questions about mushrooms as well. He's a let's just say he's a really really good guy. I love the guy, and he's an expert when it comes to psychedelics. He's very very well uh, educated and experienced, and he's going to be answering these questions about LSD and mushrooms and whatever else we ask him. We can ask him anything. On these meetings on Patreon, um, anything goes. We talk about anything. We even talk about we do talk about sourcing too. It's the only place we do it because I don't do it on my podcast. I can't do it on YouTube here. It's a public. This is a public platform, and there's certain things I do stay away from here. Although I talk about a lot. Don't get me wrong. I talk about a lot, but he's going to be talking about LSD, which I wouldn't do a live meeting here about that here. I wouldn't do it. Anyway, guys, nobody commented. Nobody has had this. I think nobody's had this happen to them. I'm just, it's interesting, but I'm just wondering. No, I can't talk. Okay. So we'll move on to the next topic if you like. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Anything I'll answer except sourcing. You know that. I'll answer. I'll try my best. If I don't know the answer, I'll be very honest and say I just don't know. I'll look into it. I'll try to find out for you. I'm not going to bullshit anyone. If I don't know the answer to something, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in something that I'm not. And I mean, I'm just a regular guy, people. I've had this podcast and YouTube channel and my audio podcast going for about 4 years now, maybe 4+ years when I started microdosing. But I don't claim to be like any different than any of you. I'm just kind of a regular guy. The only difference is my timeline might be different. I may have started, way before you would have had the experience. And I've had a lot of experience, and not only that with myself, but speaking to other people and coaching other people one on one. I've got a lot of experience now, but there are things that I definitely don't know, and I'm not going to just, if you ask me something, I'm not just going to make something up and bullshit you. I'll either answer because I know it, or I will say to you, I don't know. Let me find out. We could maybe talk about that maybe on the next live stream or something like that. But I won't make something up. So, Eric. And by the way, Info Warrior, I say this a lot, but if you're new here, Info Warrior is Eric. So if I say Eric, it's not like there's an invisible person here and you can't. Hey, where's Eric? I don't see an Eric. No, Info Warrior. And again, I always say I hope it's okay. I give his name. I don't think he minds. I've become more relaxed around others. Yes. I've had a lot of social anxiety, Eric. And guess what? Same. I mean, I had a lot of social anxiety. A lot of times I was like thrown into things that I didn't think I belonged in, like just out of my element, just because of what was expected of me, especially like maybe even in my first marriage, like just hanging with people that I didn't necessarily felt I should be hanging with, didn't resonate maybe. And so I definitely had some social anxiety. A lot of times socially, I didn't want to do certain things. And I've definitely gotten better. But having said that, I'm definitely introverted in some way. I don't like large gatherings. I don't like parties. I don't like even going to dinner with, like, let's say there's going to be a dinner party, or like, I don't even get invited to dinner party. So it's okay. And if I do, I turn it down. But like, 8, 10 people going to a restaurant. It's just, it's too much for me. It's too much. I like one-on-one. I like at the most, my wife and I maybe are out with another couple, like 2 on 2. That's okay with me. But more than that, I don't like. It's not that I can't do it. It just zaps too much of my energy. I just don't like it. So I stay away from those situations. That's all. And you might say, well, Dave, you go to the Sphere and see the Dead, Dead and Company at the Sphere, and there's like, I don't know, like 20,000, 18, 20,000 people there. Yeah, there are. I don't like crowds, except I like the Dead. I like something like that experience so much. I will sacrifice my social weirdness And when I go there, it's not like I'm talking to 18,000 other people. I kind of stay to myself, or if I'm with one other person, I stay with them. I'm not there to socialize. Okay, let's catch up here. Bill, remind people that getting mushroom gummies or vapes from the gas station. Oh, yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. Did you have an experience with that, Bill? Oh my God. Yeah. Only by, we don't talk about where to source, but I can tell you this: that if you're buying mushroom gummies or vapes or things like that, anything from like these smoke shops or like the gas station or somebody that you just don't know 100%, I got 3 words for you. The 3 words are: don't do it. You're going to either get ripped off. You don't know what the ingredients are. I don't care what they tell you. You don't know what the ingredients are. They're lacing this stuff with all kinds of craziness. I would never do it. Plus, a lot of times, if you buy mushrooms from like a gas station, a farmer's market, you're outdoors, some outdoor event, and they've got a booth or a stand, and they're selling mushrooms, and they say like, what do they say? They say like magic mushrooms. A lot of times, these are just legal mushrooms, and they call them magic mushrooms, and they're not. Don't do it, please. Don't do it. You don't know what you're getting. I promise you. So yeah, Bill, that was really good advice there. Eric says I could barely make class presentations at college. It wouldn't be a problem. Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad that you have progressed so much in the 3 years of your microdosing journey, Eric. That's exactly what you want. And microdosing is great for social anxiety. I've got a friend who has horrible social anxiety. I mean, when he has to order something at the counter at the store or something like that, he won't even be able to talk right because he'll start to say like I can, and he doesn't stutter, but he gets anxious and nervous in front of a stranger having to talk to them, and they ask him a question. He said, I don't, it's scary, it's sad. So I tried to talk to him about microdosing. He dabbled in it a little bit, but I don't force it on anyone. If somebody's not really ready for the journey, they won't do it. So that part's okay. Um, I didn't know about, and maybe in Canada, gas station Tylenols. Now I think in the U.S. and Erickson Info Warrior Eric is in Canada. In the U.S. I'd be pretty confident buying Tylenol at a gas station, or gas station, convenience store, one of the a truck stop, that kind of thing. I'd be pretty confident. I think in the U.S., if you're buying a bottle of Tylenol and it's sealed properly, I'm pretty confident it's going to be okay. But mushrooms, even if they even if they look professionally packaged and stamped, and even if you don't know what you're getting, please trust me. That's why we've got trusted sources over on Patreon. We vetted them. We personally vetted them, and we know with 100% certainty they're good. So I don't sell anything. I don't dabble in that. I don't grow, I don't sell, I don't do anything like that. However, I do know people that do. So that makes a big difference. But yeah, please. There's a place where I used to live here in Utah. And Bill, you probably know what I'm talking about. Over at Liberty Park, they've got this drum circle every Sunday, and it brings out all these freaks. And there are people selling all kinds of stuff there. If you know what I mean, people selling all kinds of stuff, but you don't know what they are. And they might be the nicest people in the world. There's a guy, I don't know if he still goes there, but whenever I used to go to this drum circle, there's this guy, he's this big, tall, very handsome, tall. The guy, I'm 6'2", and he towers over me. He must be at least 6'5", 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". He's a black guy, tall, black, handsome. And this is, guys, okay, this is Salt Lake City, Utah. There are not a lot of black people. I mean, but there are not a lot of black people in Utah. So this guy kind of stands out with his height and and what he is. His nickname is Drifter, and as it turns out, this guy's got I shouldn't really say this. I shouldn't say this in public, but maybe he doesn't care. He does this in the open, so he doesn't. He sells let's say pharmaceuticals. Let's just be nice. Pharmaceuticals with air quotes, pharmaceuticals out of his backpack. And everybody there knows him. And everybody goes up to him and there's like almost like a line sometimes for this guy. And but you don't know what you're getting. And he's a hell of a nice guy. I've spoken to the guy. He's a real nice guy, but you don't know what it is. I used to go in the 80s and 90s. Bill, that place, I don't know what it was like in the 80s and 90s. It was probably pretty wild. I don't know. I went over there, like I haven't been there for like maybe 6, 8 months. Well, they don't do it in the winter, but in the warm weather. So maybe last season I was there. I haven't been this season at all. But not only were people like selling all kinds of drugs and everybody's pretty much stoned there. It's a drum circle, guys, for those of you that didn't hear me, but it's a large kind of public drum circle. But there's this girl over there, and let's say she's very, I'm going to be kind and just say she's very, very, very well proportioned, like very well. And she's dancing around with her shirt off there and right in the middle of the park in Salt Lake City with kids all around. She's dancing with these are large, very, very large. And and it's just a happy, crazy place, but yeah, but I wouldn't buy anything there. I wouldn't do it. And same thing with the other, the gas stations and the farmers markets and wherever you go. I just wouldn't do it. Okay, guys, I don't know if it's been fun for you. I don't know, but it's been a hell of a lot of fun for me. A lot of fun for me. I love it when we do this. I won't be able to do it tomorrow. I can tell you because tomorrow, by the way, all over the United States. I don't know if it's all over the world, but I know it's the United States for sure. So Canada, I'm not sure, but it's Grateful Dead at the movies all over the US in all cities. Sorry, hold on 1 second. All cities, at least all large size cities, I think. At particular movie theaters, it's Grateful Dead at the movies. Let me see if I can find it. It's I've been going for like probably the past 8 years at least. At least. Let me see. Grateful Dead at the movies 2025. It's called Meet Up in the Movies. Meet Up at the Movies. And it's tomorrow. So there's a movie theater that's like it's like 10 minutes from my house here. And we're going. I got tickets in advance. We're going. So I do that every year. It's awesome. It's like going to they usually do it in the very comfortable movie theaters, not the old time ones, but the ones that have the real comfortable seats. They usually do it there. And it's like you're at a concert. It's great. So that's where I'm going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow it starts, I think 6 p.m. here, 6 p.m. Eric said, at least with dried mushrooms, you can visually identify that. Yeah, true. That's definitely safer. Definitely safer for sure, Eric. So I can't do it tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. Grateful Dead at the movies, or what's it called? It's called Meet Up at the Movies. I'm not there to meet anybody. I'm there to enjoy it. I'm not there to socialize. But who knows if the person next to me tomorrow is going to be trying to. I mean, other than my wife, she'll be on one side. The person next to me, who knows if they'll start talking to me or not? I don't know. I had an experience at a Dead cover Dead tribute, Dead cover band, whatever you call it, here, like probably 8 months ago here in Salt Lake City. And this guy that was sitting next to me, I think he kind of stole my space. He wouldn't stop talking. I should have moved. I just wasn't there. I was there to go deep. But he wouldn't stop talking. So Jerry lives in spirit with the blue stems and gold caps. Yeah, blue stems, gold caps. Maybe you can't go wrong. If you know how to identify them, you're probably right. Eric and everybody else. Bill, who else do we miss that's still here? If I think you left, well, David, PBS, you guys are all here. And plus all of the people watching on the replay. Thanks, Bill. I will do that. And remember, catch my regular video that comes out we had one that came it's every Wednesday, came out every Wednesday this morning. I can't talk sometimes. This morning, every Wednesday on audio, so Apple and Spotify and more, and also right here on YouTube. Every Wednesday morning, brand new episode of Microdose U podcast comes out. So glad you all are here. Love you all. And for those of you that watched the replay and made it this long, you're great because these people's attention spans are not long these days, and people turn something on, then they turn it off. But we got a bunch here, and then if you're watching the replay till the very end, man, you are really, really awesome. Okay, guys, we will do it again really soon. I promise you. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. It means the world to me that I could do a live stream and have you guys here as like our YouTube family interacting and hanging out and just kind of talking back and forth. It really does. So I promise you, we'll do it again soon. Until then, I hope your days are really, really very, very cool. See you later, guys.